practice. Maybe you are practicing for a month and you know the basics of writing task to like minimum 250 words. Right? You are advised to spend around 40 minutes for the task and things like that, isn't it? But before we actually get on to the writing task, now there is a big question, whether to appear for the paper based or for computer delivered IELTS. So recently, just maybe it's 20 days back, right? So we had this IELTS familiarization test, right? So we actually took the test out, by the way, right? So we tried out reading, writing, and everything, and found that if you take IELTS on the computer, it's much better. The very first advantage is editing. The second is how many of you have doctor's handwriting. So handwriting is a big problem, and maybe now you can't change it. So you will never be judged by your handwriting. So that's the second thing. And the third thing would be typing, right? Computing skills are very important. At my age also, I'm learning, I'll tell you, right? I'm learning, right, many things on the computer. It's like that. Here, you can change the font size. CD IELTS sticks all the right box. So what you do is, right, so go to the IELTS website, IELTS India website. There is a test there, familiarization test. You try the test, right, and then decide. One skill retake. You know about this? Certain things that you are already familiar, right? If not, a little revision. So these are the band descriptors. So examiners, how they give marks, right? How they score your essays based on these things. Whether you have written on the topic, that's called the task response. If you have gone off topic, sometimes it can happen in academic, so then you get less marks for this, less score for this. Coherence and cohesion, right? The flow of your essay. Lexical resources, the words, vocabulary that you have used. Two things are there. One is appropriate vocabulary, right? And second is a little less common vocabulary. You will always be practicing in your class also that say I want to say a certain word, for example, tired, right? And if I want to use a better word, and maybe I was traveling a lot, there was a lot of work, right? I ended up having fatigue or a burnout, these kind of words. So it's basically tired only, right? In any kind of work that you are doing. So that less common vocabulary is also required. Say you are traveling and sometimes it happens, you start early in the morning, you go on a trek, for example, by afternoon you are very hungry. So you would say, I was damn hungry, fine, done, right? But you may also want to say that we were all famished. Famished is a word, is tiredness because of hunger, especially, right? So there are words especially for that, but it doesn't mean that you have to use that. But for higher score, it is required. So that is what is lexical resource, vocabulary. Range and accuracy, right? Accuracy, of course, you are doing grammar, right? It goes on, right? Grammar is like math, right? You learn all the rules, right? And still make mistakes. It can happen. You try to offset it by range. Increase the range. Range means, variety. Variety of grammar that you use. Their sentence, start a sentence with it, a sentence with ing form, a conditional sentence, right? A sentence with a little contradiction. There are so many ways of saying and writing, isn't it? So you have to demonstrate. This is where you work for grammar. All these are graded out of 9. Now see here, right? There is nothing like content. Did you see this? કે તમારા એસેનું કોન્ટેન્ટ બરોબર નથી કે મારે હજુ થોડું કોન્ટેન્ટ વધારવું પડશે ના I need more content. There is nothing like content. The only where content comes is here. That you understand the right and topic, right? Other things are split like this. So in your mind you have to keep this, right? And there is no set kind of writing, okay, this is the best writing, I will follow it, it's kind of a template that I follow. Bring your own style and then see, is it grammatically correct, right? Is it coherent? Okay, out of all 4, which is one right? These are all kind of skills for writing, which is one that you think is the most difficult. Grammatical range, okay? Everyone, right? Yeah, of course, maybe see, I'll tell you, right? If you studied in vernacular medium, Gujarati medium, Hindi medium, then this would be a bother. Presume you have studied in English medium, then this will not be a problem. Right? So this is a different situation that we are talking about. So for all who know a little bit about English, then which one? Presume that grammar is not right. So I've studied in English medium school, so I've studied grammar for years now. Then task response. The most difficult is with this one. આપણે ગુજરાતી બોલીએ નોવેલ લખી શકીએ આપણે તમારે કેટલા ગુજરાતીમાં લેખ લખવાનો સારો એક મસ્ત ઇન્ટરેસ્ટિંગ લેખ લખવાનો હાઉ મેની ઓફ યુ કેન ડુ ધેટ ચેલેન્જિંગ ના રાઈટ એ આના લીધે છે લેંગ્વેજ આવડતું હોય તો એ બધા રાઇટર નથી બનતા બધા ઓથર નથી બનતા કેમ કે આમાં છે ધ આર્ટ ઓફ સ્ટોરી ટેલિંગ ફ્લો આવી જાય છે બરાબર એ વેધર ઇટ ઇઝ ગુજરાતી હોય or English or any other language, right? This is what is the essence of writing. This is what makes the write-up also very interesting. You start reading an article, right? And then you don't stop. You go on and on and on and on and on until you finish, right? It's it's gripping. It's because of this thing. Now, as a student, અત્યારે તમે પ્રેક્ટિસ કરશો કે હું થોડા લિંકર્સ મૂકી દઉં હે however મૂકી દઉં ને also મૂકી દઉં, right? I can make those, right? એ બધું artificial way of linking છે. Actual linking, actual flow means it has to go from one idea to another. તમારો પહેલો સેન્ટેન્સ જે છે અને બીજો સેન્ટેન્સ એક વર્ડથી ડિફાઇન ના થવો જોઈએ, આઈડિયાથી ડિફાઇન થવો જોઈએ. We'll see that, right? અત્યારે તમે એ સ્ટેજમાં છો કે ભાઈ મારે 6 બેન્ડ લાવવા છે, મેં એક લિસ્ટ વાંચી લીધી છે, unless, however, also, in addition, right? તો એનાથી લિંકિંગ નથી થતું. લિંકિંગ એવું થાય કે હું I would say, Ahmedabad is a very nice city, right? But refrain from coming to Ahmedabad during summers. હવે next મારું શું આવવું જોઈએ? I will talk about, I'm saying that it's a very nice city, but don't come to Ahmedabad during summer. To write, right? About how, difficult it is, right? Going out in the afternoon in Ahmedabad, right? During the summer days. So that is what I write. So instead, right? Stay indoors and enjoy mangoes and ice creams. This is the third sentence. This is called linking, right? Linking with ideas. So I said one sentence, that sentence will tell, whether how I should go to the next one. I am touching upon certain things which are a little advanced, right now, right? So you might feel, sir, I've never thought about it, or even if I thought about it, I didn't think, right? This might happen, but this is the actual thing for advanced essays, because I'm keeping in mind for 7.5 and all. Now, whatever I mentioned, now taking it a little further. See, high scoring essays, right? Very important. You should have a clear introduction and conclusion. That's important, right? Flow should be there, coherence, some uncommon vocabulary, very few grammar errors. High scoring essays means 7+. So if I am thinking about 7+ essays, these are all the ingredients that are required. Now, what steps to follow? So as soon as you get the topic, right, the first thing is you analyze the topic. So you try to categorize whether it is an opinion, right, agree, disagree, or whether it is discuss both sides, right, whether it is advantages, disadvantages, 2 question based, the category, right? That is, you analyze the topic and understand also what is asked. Then you brainstorm ideas. Brainstorm means, you start thinking that what shall I write? This is my style of writing. Free writing. So what I do is that as soon as I get a topic, right, I write whatever comes to my mind. For example, if the topic is what should be the right age of retirement, right? This is the topic. So I'll start writing, right? So maybe retirement should be nowadays 65. It used to be 60. Now it should be 65. So I'll write that, 65. Why? Because most of the people are the life expectancy has increased, right? From 55 now it's like 70, 75, 80, right? And after 60, who is going to fend for them? Right? Who will pay? Either they have to depend on the children or the government. So it's difficult. So 65. After 65 also there can be a contract depending on the person's health. So this is free, right? So I'll write this. Then I know the age should be 65 and all. Now second thought comes, immediately, right? Okay, but if more and more aged people work longer, then what about the young people, right? In a populous country like India, there will be unemployment. So old people have to make way for the young people for employment. That is another relevant topic. So I'll write something about it. Like this 2-3 points, free writing. Then I'll write what is the essay. So once you have that, you make a plan. What should be your first paragraph, second paragraph, right? Actually, then write, right? So once you write, then check for errors and edit. Sometimes this can come before also. So as you write, right, you edit and then check for errors. So both the things happen in a way in tandem. So this is broadly, right, that you should be doing. Introduction. If we see the number of words, it should be somewhere around 250 words. So introduction should be around 30 to 50 words. Body paragraphs can be 80 to 100 words, around 2 body paragraphs, and then conclusion can be slightly smaller than the introduction. We call it the cat format, right? The face of the cat. If I make a circle, right, that is the introduction. Then the body, right? Then the tail. That should be the proportion of your essay. Background sentence you write, right? These two are essential. What is required? Paraphrasing and you might have, right? You might be practicing, and paraphrasing is not just changing words, right? It is like rewording. You write the same thing in a slightly different way. It's a skill you practice and you get it. Thesis is very important that you tell your opinion. So these things should be there. This is optional, but I like writing. I always write a background sentence because that is how I have learned in my school, right? So my teacher used to say, because they used to have, we call it the funnel type, the funnel, conical funnel, right? So you write broad and then come to the topic. Whereas IELTS is directly writing on the topic, right? So if you have followed your teacher's style also, you might feel. So this is optional, but you can write. So let us take a topic. Some people prefer to directly help or support people who need it in the local community. However, others prefer to give money to the national or international charities, discuss both views and give your opinion, right? So when it comes to offering help, right? So people are divided, right? Some of them who are very active, would try to help the local community. Physical help, normally that we see in small towns and villages, right? So there would be some people, who would help directly. Normally in cities, right, people don't have time, right? So they might want to help, but they don't have time for that. They don't want to get involved. Simple. Say for example, right, I want to help, maybe an institution like Blind People Association, yeah, I want to help, maybe So there are two ways, I go there, right, with a lot of gifts, or maybe I teach those children, do certain kind of activities, go there physically every week, right? I meet the principal there, and I would say maybe I want to do something for the children. Since I teach English, so I would say maybe I'll take some English classes for them on weekends. On Sundays I'll come 2 hours, right, help those children with their English language. I can do that. Or I would say maybe, yeah, but I'm very busy, Sunday is only day I'm getting, right? And if I'm earning a lot of money, then I would say, yeah, but I want to help. So I'll write a big check, right, and give it to the institution. So in both situations, the intention is there, but different ways of, right? So that is what it is. Now, in case, if you have maybe made a plan like this, right, that you decide body paragraph 1 and 2, not introduction. So people who help directly. So what are the points? One is take responsibility, because they are very self-motivated, right? They take responsibility. They find satisfaction also, right? You go there and help them. You see the smiling faces of children. That satisfaction cannot be matched, even if by giving a lot of money. They find satisfaction. They doubt charities. I write check, but I don't know how my money will be used. If it goes into their pockets, right, and it doesn't help the children, so I won't. This is what, so could be. There can be other points, right? Just these are relevant points. So this is what you brainstorm, you think, and then write down something like this. People who donate to charities, they believe that help should be done collectively. So there was this person, always we get a lot of calls also to help, and for Vruddhashram, right? Of course, there might be many genuine calls also, but do we help? I mean, we want to see the people, right? We cannot just give the money like that. And the person might say that ટીપે ટીપે સરોવર ભરાય, he would say maybe તમારું નાનું કોન્ટ્રીબ્યુશન છે, પણ આનાથી શું છે કે, પણ હું એવું પણ કહી શકું કે ટીપે ટીપું શોષાઈ જાય. I give money, but that's gone. It will not reach the person. I'm being this, right? But they feel that if there are big things, right, individually you can't do much. Together we can do a lot. They believe in this. And then big organizations can do better. કે આ બહુ મોટી વસ્તુ છે, રાઈટ? આમાં બધું આખું પ્લાનિંગ પ્રોપર કરવું પડે ને, right? Big organizations can do. Individually we cannot do. And there are certain tasks, agreed, right? Big tasks that only big organizations can do. So there are people, who would say maybe I'll verify the charity properly and then donate. So this is the kind of, right? I'm just giving you an example. These are my thoughts. These thoughts don't matter, right? But relevant thoughts related to the topic, isn't it? So you don't have to agree or disagree with me. Right? IELTS is not about judgment, right? We are all free to have our own opinions and beliefs. People would say, right, so many things. I write an introduction like this. It is rightly said, service to humanity is service to God, right? This is about service. This is an idiom everyone would know. Service to mankind. Whether to help people through one's time and efforts or just to donate money to charities is an individual's choice. However, I opine that it is better to volunteer to bring about a change we want to see in society, rather than just donating money unless we are sure of the resources being used appropriately. One way of writing. Can you see the 3 parts here? Can you see the background sentence? Can you see the introduction of the topic? Can you see the thesis? It's like this. It is rightly said, service to humanity is service to God. I inverted commas એટલે મૂકેલા છે because this is an idiom, proverb. No? I have not written this, right? Someone great, has told this. So I'm just quoting that person. If I'm using any kind of proverb, I have to put this, right? That is why the inverted commas. Secondly, this does not carry weightage. બહુ સરસ બોલ્યું, બહુ સરસ લખ્યું, it does not carry weightage. Again, let me clarify. Because this is memorized. This is something I remembered, right? Health is wealth, or maybe some other proverb I would remember and say. So since this is a proverb that is remembered, right, it does not carry. But I feel, I want to have this background sentence. You are free to have it. This is the introduction of the topic. Whether to help people through one's time or efforts, right, is an individual's choice. However, I opine that it is better to. This is the thesis statement. So which side I am favoring more? Right? This is a discursive essay, but still you can give a hint. Right? So it is better, I am saying. So this is one good, this is better. To volunteer to bring about this thing. Grammar is there. This sentence is not a lift off, right? This is not a template sentence. જે કદાચ તમે લખતા હો કે અહીંયા આવે ને એટલે લખવાનું, in this essay I shall discuss both viewpoints and then give my opinion. આવું કંઈક. You're writing from your memory. This sentence is a fresh sentence. I'm not saying it's a very nice sentence. You understand? It's an original sentence, right? The words like volunteer, not there in the topic, but it's related. Grammar, unless, rather. Understood? So how you write is this thing. So don't feel satisfied. I remembered certain things and now I'm writing. I'm very good at it. Of course, if your aim is to get 6 bands, fine. Right? પાસ થવા માટે આપણે અપેક્ષિત યુઝ કરીએ ને, તો એ જે પેલું ટેમ્પલેટ સેન્ટેન્સ છે પાસ થવા માટે છે, 6 બેન્ડ માટે છે, રાઈટ? If you want to get a band 7 at least, right? 6.5 એટલે તમે બહુ સારી એફર્ટ કરી કહેવાય. 7 means, right, that is something you will feel very good from within. If you work hard, right, and you get band 7, right, you will be flying, right? You feel very good about yourself, and you should try to do that. That comes from original sentences, not memorized ones. And when you practice a lot of essays, it comes. Then the body paragraph. Note to begin with, for a start. So all those things you keep it in mind. I know all this thing. I can give you a list. I'll not use it. Instead, I'll write something fresh. In every society, there are some kind and compassionate people who are eager to help anyone in need. There are some people who are very kind, right? So they always have that kind of heart to help people. They take on the responsibility at an individual level and reach out to those in distress to do whatever they can, whether it is helping a neighbor or bringing people together for a noble cause, especially during unforeseen circumstances. Instead of donating money to a charity, these social workers, I would like to call them social workers now, choose to volunteer to ease the situation. They do so because performing noble deeds gives them a sense of satisfaction and happiness. However, they often refrain from donating money to charity as they are uncertain whether the money will be utilized for the intended purposes. So this is the entire paragraph. The same paragraph, it is, right? I'm just showing This is the topic sentence, right? Starting sentence. And then explanation or supportive sentences. Now, when you write supportive sentences, cause and effect can be there, or it can be extension also. Hedging. Hedging means, using like changing the direction of the idea. For example, here, see, if you see here, instead of doing this, so there is a changing. And secondly, giving a possibility. Hedging means giving a possibility કે કદાચ આવું હોઈ શકે, right? લોકોનું આવું માનવાનું હશે, right? This is called hedging. This is all kind of thing that is there, right? Wherever you feel you want to take a pic, you are allowed to do so, right? I'm just telling, right? Okay. So this is hedging. આવું પણ હોઈ શકે, આવું પણ હોઈ શકે. It can be like this or, right? So till here, right? Then the idea slightly changes. Then another. So this is the body paragraph, right? So what is there? You have developed an argument, which is called well-developed paragraph. Means you have gone into the discussion. Very important. Body paragraphs માં discussion થવું જોઈએ. So we have gone into this. Now the next one, on the other hand, right? It always helps to put some kind of, these are called signpost words, right? It tells the reader about her, how to, this is a different point that we are writing. A section of people choose to donate to charities to show their solidarity and support. Rather than doing it on their own, they use proper channels like big charities and organizations and provide funds to them. Synonym for money and funds. They believe it is better to raise funds collectively and allow the charities to do the needful, since it is beyond the capacity of individuals to help alone during catastrophic situations. Some less common vocabulary as well. If there is an earthquake, variety of grammar. Of course, I am writing something, but I am keeping this, this is a conditional sentence. If there is an earthquake, tsunami or pandemic, it is up to the government to take steps to help people. Hence, despite their noble intentions, these people are less inclined to get directly involved in social welfare and so try to keep a distance. Yeah. So when there is an earthquake, floods and all, so what do? Right? Prime Minister calls, right? Donate to the PM fund. So we do, right, sir? We want to donate 1,000 rupees, fine, fair enough, right? I'll do my bit. So that is what it is, and we feel that I cannot help the flood victims even if I want to, right? Akshay Kumar will donate, right, in crores, right? I'll donate in thousands. And this hence is there. A paragraph is also like a mini essay. It has a beginning, it has a little explanation, it has got a conclusion. Hence, despite this thing. So what is the flow here? Stating, explaining, illustrate. Illustrate means giving an example kind of thing. Here kind of, when you use specific details, they are example. Not that मैं for example use करना के लिए हाँ example आप ये नहीं. Example actually means that when you are writing broad idea and then you are giving specific details. So when these are all examples only, isn't it? And then conclude. So this is the kind of thing for the body paragraph. Now, if you see from the previous and this thing, the flow is slightly different, right? But there are different compartments to that. When you do this, cause, effect, state, explain. State, explain means out and then I give a reason and explain, right? But I demonstrate. This is very important because body paragraphs are scoring. The actual scoring happens in body paragraphs. But all the content that you write is related to the topic. Conclusion. In conclusion, I believe. This I, comes twice. Right? You should not use more than twice. One in the introduction and then in the conclusion. So I believe, although one can always give money for charitable causes, it is better to help people around you and in the community, as charity begins at home. Right? So I'm ending with a probe here also, which is not, but I just want to write. I have, it's coming to my mind, isn't it? So don't be under the impression that I have written this and they'll negatively mark. You can't write proverbs, right? Because there are so many things that are said on the internet. Kama proverb nahi lakhwana, nahi lakhwana, એવું નથી, right? Proverbs are not scoring, right? But I want to end it in a nice way, right? So this is all the thing, for an essay. Now I'm going to give you a topic and you make a little plan or something. So this is the topic. You may want to write an introduction and at least one body paragraph, because whatever you have understood, you want to put that in practice, isn't it? Some people believe that individuals who earn a lot of money are the most successful. Understood the first sentence? Others say that individuals who contribute to the society, such as scientists or teachers, are the most successful. Discuss both views and give your own opinion. Understood the topic? Yeah. So you can follow the steps now. Brainstorm, make a plan, write few points, right? Write few points for this, write few points for this, because those are going to be the paragraphs.